let's say I were to compare, it's like, hey, who am I to compare, right, bro? So for me, it's so long there's just one person using our platform that can benefit from it. For me, it's alhamdulillah. My job is done. You know? Yeah.
SubhanAllah. So from your perspective, right, as a Muslim for 3 years now, alhamdulillah, what is the biggest issue that Muslims are facing currently?
Muslim, not majority of course, but from what I see is far away from the Quran and the Sunnah. Okay, so number one is about learning. No one likes learning anymore. People love entertaining. So that's why some of the preaching method, you can see example in Malaysia, they input a lot of irrelevant jokes just to make sure the Jama'ah, they are happy. No wrong. But for me, it's like, example, when you're saying something that is haram, but what makes it haram? You need to learn the Maqasid Sharia. What is the process or the process of creating the ruling that makes that particular thing haram? People doesn't want to learn that. People just, example, I wanna eat a burger, but I don't want to see how the cow is being slaughtered. You get what I mean? They just want the answers. But just imagine if, let's say, put it this way, put all the Maqasid Sharia things apart. But when a non-Muslim, come to you, they say, what is Islam? How can you actually answer that in the right way? Or what happened to September 11? Why you guys are being the terrorists? Why the women are putting on hijab? And wallahi, we did the street interview with our team. None of them able to answer. Simple as that. When did the Prophet receive his revelation? When he passed away? What is the meaning of Islam, Muslim, stuff like that. Basic stuff. No one knows how to answer. So, what Muslim would you categorize these people? If, let's say, you don't understand about Islam, how do you be a practicing Muslim? Your salat will just be a cultural thing. A to-do list, maybe from your dad, from your granddad or whoever, you won't appreciate it. There are tons of people doesn't even know the meaning of, the entire Surah Al-Fatiha. Right? There are people who are depressed, but I say, do you salat? Yes. So do you seek dua? Huh? Why you harm me? Right? Idina siratal mustaqim. Right? So when you salat, do you really understand, appreciate your salat? You can't. Because why? You don't understand. You don't understand how the Prophet and his companions strive, to preserve or to give whatever that we have today. How can you appreciate that? When you don't appreciate that, you take it for granted. That, I'm a Muslim, I will go to heaven. No. Right? So stuff like that. It's like people are reluctant to learn. So very simple. The questions that we need to ask each and everyone, including ourselves, like not only how to protect the teaching of the Quran and the Sunnah, but how relevant is it still going to be for the years to come if you are not going to do anything about it, right? So if, let's say, you don't want to learn anything new or whatever, at least you can neutralize whatever misconception is out there. What happens if, just example, whichever faith or other religions that come and attack, how can you actually stand up and protect your religion proudly and without a shadow of doubt? Can you? You get what I mean? So if you can't, means you are not doing a good job, right? So you see, in our tashahud, we say, at-tahiyyatu mubarakatu salawatu tayyibatu lillah. Then, assalamu alayka ayuhan nabiyyu what?
Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah. Then, assalamu alayna. Yeah, what that's the third ayat that you
after that?
Yeah, the third ayat, the Solihin.
Assalamu alayna, like peace to be upon us and
people who are pious, right?
Yeah,
people who are pious, right?
Yeah.
So how pious are you? I'm not referring to you, bro. Like I'm referring to people who recite it. You get what I mean? Like pious. So are you sure you're pious? What's the first message? What's the last message? Are you doing that? You're not. So are you saying that you are pious? Oh, I give my zakat, then I do my fasting. Is that all? What's the sunnah of the Prophet? Right? Is to convey. Right? Just imagine those days people in the Kaaba, when the Prophet gave his final sermon, then inshallah, then go back home, eat. Do you think that Islam will continue to grow until here today? No, it's not. And look at Surah Muhammad, in the Surah, I think it's in the last ayat, if I'm not mistaken, that, Allah Ta'ala, if let's say you doesn't know how to appreciate this one, He'll take this from you and give it to others people. So, very simple. So I'm not saying like I'm a very smart Muslim, but this is how I understand all this message. You get what I mean? So if you can't give value, then don't damage it. Right? As a Muslim, right? So example, people say, oh, this guy is doing salat, how come? Then when he asks you, then you say, oh, then you know how to answer, right? So stuff like that, they are all just basic, right? So giving dawah is not, there are many forms of dawah, I believe, but example like conveying all this kind of message is not the scholars, only the scholar's job, or your ustad's job, or his job, or the mufti job. It's everyone's job. If let's say last time during Prophet's times, everyone is just depending on Abu Bakr. Yeah, Abu Bakr, go ahead. Yo, we support you. Yo. Omar, you're a big guy, tough guy. Here you go. So everyone just like, inshallah, we'll come. What do you think is going to happen? It's ridiculous, but yeah, it's true. Right?
So the first message referring to Iqra.
Yeah,
right,
read.
The last message is when the
Convey.
final summary to convey what we learn, what we have about Islam.
Yeah, simple as that.
Right. So the problem is that people don't want to learn about Islam nowadays.
From what I see, like we have a lot of our gift cards, right? That the one scan this and that. Every time I just like, wow, how you know all this, huh? The Muslim. Okay, how you know all this, huh? Learner. How? Nah, here is it. Scan. It's for free. Wow, mashallah. Because we have all our trackings done. There's no way you can lie. So I can just see, is there a new sign up? No sign up then? So back to Surah Asaf, Surah 61, ayat 2 and 3. What is that? Right? All people who have believed, why didn't you do of like what you said? You get what I mean? Yeah. Right. So for all those people like who say, inshallah, we'll come to do the recording. I mean, like, no offense. All right. So for me, it's very simple. You don't give me like lip service. You get what I mean? It is like I had a lot of like, no offense, I had a lot of like blowjobs in dawah. Like, no offense. It's like, give me a valid reason of, at least I don't have like bad thoughts about you from what you did and from what you have promised. You get what I mean? It's like, you said it, you promised it, you have committed to it, and I'm committed to it. My skin is in the game, right? But where are you? Right? You're saying me, I'm Wahhabi, that's why.
Did people call you Wahhabi?
I'm not famous, right? So like, people are like, who is this? I don't know.
Did you know what Wahhabi means?
Those days I didn't know, but then after I was like, what Wahhabi? Like I told you, I just know like wasabi because like we have Japanese food, sushi here. We love wasabi. For me, I love wasabi. So when they first say like Wahhabi, I was like, what is Wahhabi? I don't even know wasabi. So from there I read,
So if there's one advice you could give to Muslims, first of all, and non-Muslims, what will that be? Like the most important.
I will not to say advice, bro. For me, it's just like
a reminder.
Don't screw up, bro. Just don't screw up as a Muslim. Because why? Like for whatever that we do, this and that, like he is recording. Simple as that. So example, if let's say as a Muslim, I think we just make a self-reflection. Because a self-reflection is going to help us to create awareness of what change that we need to bring, right? So I think each and every person, a Muslim especially, just have to think of, because we didn't know, we are not going to know when are we going to leave this planet Earth, right? Only Allah knows, and everyone will have the taste of death. Simple as that. So looking at your book of deeds, imagine that you can see your book of deeds right here, right in front of you. How proud are you looking at it, right? It could be only half of the book, or it could be the last page, or it could be the last sentence. If it's the last sentence or the last page, how would you want the angels to write down the deeds of your remaining days? So very simple example, like a football match. You have your first half, you have your second half. For me, every day is our second half. First half, are we proud of first half? How we play our match? No. Can we do better in the second half? Yes. When's the second half? Right now. Done. So like, you don't need like, oh, I'll wait, you never know you have the next second, bro. Right? So yeah, just very simple. Left and right, done. So that's why I said, bro, like I think I've shared with you guys many times, like if let's say a Muslim is a Muslim, he or she will not dare to do any screw up stuff, taking bribes. No, you take bribes, you are happy, right? Okay, 50 riyal. Oh, 1,000 riyal. 1,000 dirham. Example, or 2.6 billion ringgit. Right? It's all written down. So for me, as a revert, for me, alhamdulillah, like for whatever that we have learned, we know, we are given the second chance. Even I myself, I didn't know the book of this, even after my shahada. For whatever wrong that we have done, we will be forgiven. I didn't know about this. Of course, the Quran speaks about the book of this, right? So when I know about this, I say, oh, really? We given second chance? Oh, and that's how the Chinese speaks, right? So for me, it's like, oh, okay. So now, inshallah, my book of this is okay. So I try not to mess it up. You get what I mean? So like I had done stuff before that no one's proud of, especially myself. So for me, it's like, if I'm being given the second chance right now, I wouldn't want to mess it up. It's the same thing. For every Muslim who wakes up the following day, we are given the second chance. So don't mess it up. Done.
Last question. So as a new Muslim, how did old Muslims react to you? What were some of the stereotypes that you had to face?
What? I don't really...
Like as a new Muslim, right? Just entered Islam. How did old Muslims or normal Muslims react to you?
How the Muslim should welcome the new Muslim? Is it your question?
No, how did they welcome you?
How did they welcome me?
Like when you tell them that they're doing something wrong or something like that.
Like a few incidents. Okay, we told them about, hey, this thing is da'if, like hadith da'if. So that is why you shouldn't put it in your salat. So they were like, how do you know?